Well, hey, like Mike said, my name is Mike Brown. Good to have you guys here in this room. Last session of the conference, which is always nice to get back home, at the end of the day. But hey, raise your hand real quick if you guys have never used CompanyCAM, and you'd probably say like, man, I have no idea what it is, but I really want to know. Okay. All right, so middle room over there. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give you guys a deep dive into the product. Yesterday, I really talked about like the whole idea of how important your process is. And a really big, important thing for us at CompanyCAM is we like to sit down with companies of all sizes, really step in with every single department that you've got within your company, understand the current processes that you have in place, and start to really kind of think through a lens of how can we make this more efficient. If there's a lot of manual data entry that's happening, if there's a lot of misalignment and miscommunication happening between departments, how can we use a software and a tool like CompanyCAM, which is always going to be a field-first app that helps streamlines the communication, project photos, documents across all different areas within your company. So that's our focus, is making it a very easy, intuitive app for the people out in the field to easily communicate with anyone back in the office. And so if that's you, if you're like, hey, after spending some time thinking through CompanyCAM, seeing exactly what it can do, we're interested, I would love to personally sit down with you guys, jump into the middle of those conversations. Like I said yesterday, sometimes I act like a counselor, sometimes I act like a marital counselor if you're working with your spouse, okay? Like, I want to help you guys out to better understand. Maybe there's some better processes that we can put into place to really speed this up. And so what I'll go ahead and do, they're going to share my screen here up on the monitors here, and then we'll dive in. I did get a quick little survey here from current customers that are using CompanyCAM, a part of the program here. So it does look like we need to have a deep dive into some of the AI tools, gallery timeline links, before and afters, which I will get into as well, and document signing. So I'm just going to do a quick general overview, and then we'll deep dive into some of those specifics as well. And so over here on this right-hand side, this is the desktop version of CompanyCAM. So I'm actually logged in on my computer, and then over on the left here, this is just my app here on my phone. This is live, this is real, this is not a pre-programmed mirror image or anything like that, so you can actually see how the two coordinate back and forth. And so anyone back in the office can jump in, they can see all of their projects listed. We are an open API company, so we're basically allowing you guys to integrate that information with all of your other softwares. We've already built out a lot of the mainline integrations anyway, House Call Pro, AccuLinks, a lot of the bigger ones we've already directly built out from your CRM systems that you're using. And so what happens with those integrations is once you set up a lead or a project or a contact within your CRM system, it will actually create that same project in CompanyCAM with that location and also with all of your customer information as well. And once that information is in CompanyCAM, your guys can actually just show up on site and they can just start snapping photos. So hypothetically here, if I was on site and I just want to start taking some photos, I could just here, right on the phone version, hit the little map button right there, and it's going to automatically pinpoint me on the map. And so if there's a project nearby, I can just jump right on in to that project, and I'm not going to do that because there's not one nearby, but I can pop into my AE project here, and this is going to house all of my photos, all of my notes, all the reports I create across the board. As you can see here on this project specifically, there's almost 4,000 photos. And I don't know if you've got field guys working, taking photos all the time on job site. They should be taking photos all the time on their job sites. But the last thing that they want to do is take 1,000 photos and then have to send those photos somewhere. The last thing that they want to do is take 1,000 photos, send those photos, and then go back and delete those photos later on because it's taking up too much storage on their phone. And that's really where CompanyCAM comes into clutch, because it allows these guys to get into the project. All the photos are saved by the project. Those photos are instantly viewable and accessible by everyone that needs to have access, and it's not taking up any storage on their phone. So the last thing that I would want to do when I worked in the contracting field is I would get in front of a customer, I would show them exactly, hey, we did this for Mary down the street, let me show you what it looks like. The last thing that I want to do is go into my photo album and start searching photos, and then I start to look at this, I'm like, man, I'm a weird dude. The stuff that I save in my photo album, I don't want anyone else to see. And that's the beauty of CompanyCAM, is because everything's separate. Separating your work life from your personal life instantly. So the field guys love it. And so as I capture photos here, all I have to do, get on the project, open up the camera. Notice in the top left-hand corner there, I'm already time stamping my photos and stamping the latitude and longitude on top of my photos instantly. Obviously, this is huge. If you're part of NYSERDA, sending off audit reports over to them, all of that information is being captured. Okay, so when I capture these photos, love the little room here, those photos are going to stream to that desktop version all in real time. So you should see kind of those funnel in, right? And the second I take those photos, instantly in the bottom left-hand corner, we've kind of created this quick caption button here, but I can instantly share those photos, I can comment and communicate between different teams and different people. I can instantly edit those photos, so I can hit the little edit button here. Boom, I've got Mike here. Let me just draw an arrow, put some text to it. We got Mike there. Save it, add my company logo all over the photo itself, build that out however I want, hit save, and that's automatically going to save across the board. So it'll edit that photo and then instantly change it on the desktop version as well. Now, what we're going to be adding to this live view is the ability to easily capture measurements all in the moment. So as phones begin to have LiDAR included, like my iPhone does here, when we build that out here in Q2, you guys will be able to scan an entire room, choose your endpoints, and it build out those measurements for you, and instantly add the text with those measurements on top of the photo as well with your timestamps. So some really cool, great features coming through. But the other neat feature is I could get a close-up of Mike here. There we go, lovely. And as I take that photo, I can instantly come over here to speak, hit the little speak button. Hey, here at the conference here in the Saratoga room, I noticed Mike's looking pretty good today. Someone needs to send that dude an email and say, hey, congratulations, Mike, thanks for being here. So check this out. AI actually runs this through. It transcribes everything that I just said and instantly adds punctuation as a description alongside your photo right there for you. It's instantly editable, fast, easy, so you guys can just get on the job site, take their photos, talk, moving through their process, and when you need to build out a report, it'll grab those photos and those descriptions and build it into that PDF report for you, which is super nice. All right, from there, going back to the capture settings here, you can also build out tags. I think this is probably one of the most important features inside of CompanyCAM. Walking through your physical process. What are we taking a photo of? What does this look like? What kind of tag do we need to have associated? And so let's just say, hey, I found some damages in the basement here, so I'm going to add my basement tag. I'm going to add my damages. I'm going to hit save. It's going to populate those two tags down there at the bottom. And so when I take those photos, it's going to timestamp it. It's going to add latitude and longitude. But when those photos funnel into CompanyCAM, those photos are now going to be tagged here. So it then makes those photos searchable later on. So basically within my entire project, I can just basically grab my damages tag, and then also my basement tag. And so it's going to populate all those photos that I took, and then I can instantly from the desktop and also from the phone, grab those photos, and I can instantly build a report, either from a template or even on its own as well. Okay, so tag lists are going to be huge, especially as AI becomes more advanced in the next 3 months. Tags are going to be huge for you guys to build off of, okay? Because AI needs something to model information off of. And so if you already have in your system that tag list, we're going to be able to add to our AI tools where instantly it's going to learn from what you've already tagged and then populate based off of that as well too, okay? So it's going to be highly important, especially if you guys are early adopters of AI. Now, aside from that, you can obviously take video with CompanyCAM. So I'm just going to pop over to video here. So I can basically walk throughout this entire room, talk through exactly what needs to be done, using this for liability or job site condition reports. I can hit this little button right here, and this allows me to do like a walkthrough mode. So basically recording the front-facing camera over the back-facing camera, picture-in-picture. I've seen a lot of companies use this inside of CompanyCAM for training purposes, being able to create their own little training module or project inside of CompanyCAM, walk through all the different variants of what the job site what needs to happen on the job site itself, and using this video mode as a great instructional tool within that as well too. And the other feature here too is we also have scan. And so this is where you can scan anything on a job site. It'll look for a document, it'll instantly scan it. So anything handwritten on a piece of paper, any words as well can instantly be scanned into CompanyCAM. You hit the little save button, and I can also push this to PDF. We're also building a new feature inside of that scan option to basically grab serial numbers and mark that towards not training modules, manuals, that kind of thing as well too, to basically kind of coordinate that information of what you're scanning out in the field. All right, so I'm gonna hit cancel there and go back here to the mainframe. So I'm gonna go back to the project here. And as I do, basically I've got all these photos here. I can instantly search those photos by clicking the little button there. It's gonna show me all the photos I've taken on site. I can filter those photos based off of who took them, when they were taken, what tags I used to specifically see those things and build templates out of. But basically on the main page here, we've got a couple more options. So I kind of call this our toolbar here. And so we've got tasks, pages, checklists, reports, and documents. Documents is just kind of there for you guys to add any additional documents that you need, or as you build out PDF reports or checklist reports or daily logs. All of that information is going to be saved locally there on your phone within the project itself. So anyone out in the field can populate those PDFs. I will get into document signing here in just a second. But essentially from there, you also have these tasks. And so being able to build out tasks on the project itself, both from the app as well as the desktop version, being able to assign those guys tasks. Now, I just found out yesterday through conversation, we're actually building out a dashboard just for your tasks. So you can see those tasks, not just within the project itself, but actually from an entire overview of all the projects that you have. So if you've got Joe out in the field and he's doing 5 projects over the course of the next 2 weeks, that little dashboard for him is going to display all those tasks on each individual project all on one page. So it kind of creates a streamlined process instead of just going into every single project to find those tasks. But essentially, I could add a task to a photo, assign it to myself, complete it, uncomplete it, all that good stuff. And then from there, we also have checklists. Now, so with checklists, you can actually build out your entire templates for checklists and reports on our desktop version here. And so anytime you want to do that, all you have to do is just come over here to templates. And as you come over here to templates, you can click on your checklists. Now, True Building Performance, they've actually got a really awesome checklist that we're actually just going to copy and build into a community checklist for all of you guys. So instead of reinventing the wheel, just use what Paul uses, okay? You don't need to redo it. You don't need to redevelop it. It's already going to be there for you. Essentially, how you will find that checklist template is you will actually just come up here on the desktop version. If you've got a photo of yourself on there, or it'll have your initials, you'll click on it, and you'll come down here to Community Checklists. And what's going to happen is you're going to see like a little logo either for BPCA or even NYSERDA. I haven't decided which one it's going to be, but you'll be able to click into that kind of like this Atlas one or this APC one. And what's going to be in there is templates that have been shared from other members that are avidly using CompanyCAM. And so you can instantly grab that. It'll download that template into your CompanyCAM portal, and you can reuse that checklist or that report or that page over and over and over again. So you guys can really learn and grow from each other. But what's nice with these checklists, if I jump back to the project here, what's nice with these checklists is you're really able to dive in pretty cleanly and build these out in a lot of different and advanced ways. So actually, let me just pull up Paul's here. Sorry, Paul, I didn't tell you that I was jumping into your account. So hopefully there's nothing you don't want them to see. But we've got this superior audit checklist, okay? And so essentially how they're using it is they're requiring their guys to walk through this entire process on the job site, all right? So anytime they've got this in front of them on the job site, it's requiring them to take photos, right? Minimum, all 4 sides, capturing siding quality, roof condition, ventilation, drainage. And they're just walking through this entire process on the job site. It's simple, it's easy, it's fast. And then from there, once that checklist is complete, you're able to instantly generate a PDF document directly from the app itself. So let's just say, hey, here's my checklist. I'm taking photos, walking through my process, answering the fields, the questions, yes, no questions. They can't even check off fields if there's photos required and they haven't taken the photos. So it's forcing them to timestamp, it's forcing them to walk through those processes, and then instantly, once a checklist is complete, they can instantly hit the 3 little dots, export to PDF. It's going to ask if I want a cover page, if I want to save that as a project document, if I want to have 2 or 3 photos per page, and I instantly hit export, and it's going to build out that PDF document for me. Okay, so checklists can be highly, highly advanced. We're going to continue to add more and more features to that. Our big focus from a mid-market to enterprise standpoint is to build in conditional logic within checklists, which could be very beneficial for a lot of you guys. So if like 5 different things are happening on this job site, it doesn't mean those 5 different things are going to happen on the next job site. So building in conditional logic within checklists will really streamline a lot of that information and knowing exactly what those guys should be doing and what they should be recording on the job site, irregardless of what they run into on that job site. All right. So from there, we also have reports here. And I think reports could be a extremely beneficial tool for you guys out in the field, because with our report templates, you're also able, let me jump back here. When you build out a report template, you can actually build out all of your sections, all of your section summaries, and you can even use a thing called snippets. And what text snippets are is if you guys are required to use a certain language, if NYSERDA, if they require, hey, on every single project, and they might actually get this way in the future, hey, we have to have this specific verbiage when these things happen on a job site. So when you're recording that information, we need to have this specific language. This is where you could actually use these text snippets to basically copy all of that information into CompanyCAM, kind of create some key words to use, and then instantly, anytime you need to use that specific verbiage, it'll automatically populate that into those reports that you build out all on the fly. Green Home Solutions, one of the bigger accounts that we have here at CompanyCAM, they've actually built out a 150-page photo PDF report within CompanyCAM, and they have over 800 text snippets inside of CompanyCAM. And this is long legal verbiage across the board that they're using to build that out with. And so it's taking something very, very complicated, trying to simplify it so that guys out in the field can just walk through a process, take their photos, add their notes, and build out those PDF reports across the board. All right. So really easy to create those templates from the desktop version. Pretty simple from there. And then this is where we've kind of created some more advanced tools to create those PDF reports as well. We call it Pages. And Pages is basically leveraging AI tools inside of the app. We use ChatGPT 4.0 engine. This will be upgraded here soon to be able to also analyze photos as well, to start the tagging process. So there's a lot of new insights and new things happening with AI right now, and we're excited to be a part of that. But essentially, if I was on a job site and I just want to easily capture information, all I would have to do is just hit plus page. And then I could come down here to my walkthrough note. Now, what this is going to do is it's actually going to allow me to timestamp and geolocate stamp all of my photos. It's also listening to everything that I'm saying. So I could hypothetically, let me just say here, hey, I'm here at the Hilton out in Saratoga Springs here. We're in the Saratoga room, and we're actually going to go ahead and do a complete remodel of this room. So we need to demo out the carpet across the board. Other than that, we'll have to demo out some of the moldings on the walls. We'll go ahead and patch up the walls. We're going to paint the entire room. We're going to need 50 gallons of paint, a lot of paint to use on this job site. And then we're roughly going to need about 3,800 square feet of material for the flooring. And then we'll need to get some extra order for that as well too. All in all, this job site is probably going to take us roughly about 28 hours of labor. And with our material costs there, we're probably projecting about a $35,000 remodel for this room. So I can hit done there. What's going to happen is AI is instantly going to transcribe everything that I just said. It's going to grab the photos that I just took, and what's going to happen on this project is it's going to build out that physical page or that physical note for me automatically, and also make that available online. So as you can see here, I've already got this complete remodel plan for the Sarah room, so it looks like it didn't pick up on Saratoga, so I can instantly fix that real quick here. There we go. Nope. Saratoga. There we go. Why? I don't know why it's doing that. Do you see what it's doing? There we go. Awesome. All right, so if I click into it from the phone here, I can also easily edit that as well too. But look what it caught here. Remodeling, demo, project overview, and cost. Okay, now this learns as you go. So the more photos you take, the more things you say. Obviously it does not like the name Saratoga, so I can instantly fix that as well too. All that good stuff, continue to add to it, take photos in and out of it, walk through my process, and then instantly hit the little share button there, and I can export that to a PDF document with a cover page instantly. So like walking through your bid process, your estimate process, whatever you need to do on the job site, your damage reports, basically having those guys get into the job site itself, hit one button, talk, allow it to record, allow it to take photos, and walk through that, primarily building those out before they even get back to their truck to head back, right? Now, what's cool about this is you also don't have to take photos. You can turn this feature on. You can put it in your pocket. It'll record everything that you're talking about. Or maybe you're having a conversation with a customer and you're like, hey, I really want to record this. Now, what's nice, as long as you aren't taking physical photos of your customer or videoing your customer, which you probably don't want to do anyway, you don't have to ask for permission to record. They've hired you to do a job, or they've hired you to bid a job. So you can literally turn this on, put it in your pocket, and it's going to record that entire conversation and give you a brief outline and summary of what physically occurred. Now, if you ever do need to go back and you're like, man, I didn't pick that up. I need to kind of figure that out a little bit. You can literally just go to the three little dots there in the top right-hand corner, hit View Transcript, and you're basically going to see everything that was recorded throughout that time frame. Now, I've accidentally let this go for like an hour and a half on a demo with a really large customer. Had no idea it was working in the background. I was like, man, why is my phone so hot right now? Well, it was literally trying to transcribe an hour and a half of me and like 3 other people talking over each other. So it does work from that standpoint too, in terms of how long it can go from there. Yeah.
Can it also do translation?
Yes, so we just built this out. So it's in beta mode right now, but the app automatically is translated into Spanish for any Spanish speakers. And so from their side, they're able to like work through all their workflows. The AI specifically, not yet. It's not going to work with Spanish speakers and instantly translate. But anything in CompanyCAM where they're typing stuff in Spanish or you're typing it in English, they would see what you said in English and Spanish, and you would see what they put in Spanish into English instantly. Okay, so that's a new feature. It's in beta. It's running a lot smoother than I thought it would be because it's kind of a load on the app itself, but it's working pretty well right now. But in terms of AI is not there just yet, but it's definitely moving into the future to be able to create those models in different languages. Yep. Now, aside from that walkthrough feature, you can also build out quick little AI notes within pages with generating a summary, a daily log, and a progress recap. And all 3 of these are going to be very similar in function, but give you 3 distinct outcomes. All right, so it's going to pull from the photos that you've already taken, the descriptions that you've already added, and it must have descriptions on those photos for AI to analyze and summarize for you, okay? So if you're going to build an AI page or AI report directly from CompanyCAM, those 3 features right there need to have descriptions on the photos for the AI to understand it. The 4th one there, that's its own standalone feature. We will be adding some more capabilities to that as well, where you can actually not only take photos, but you can also basically take a video, and it adds the video to that note as well too, if you want to do like an entire walkthrough. We've had a lot of requests for that. And eventually it will be moving towards probably middle to the end of this year towards the ability to also tag your photos with the specific tags that you've already built out based off those learning modules as well too. Yep. Yes. So we're not going to give the rights to like you guys specifically to build your own models just yet. That probably is going to be something down the line. But if you are having it, so it's basically going to be more generalized towards individual industries. So if you're a contractor, you're probably going to get it's going to know exactly kind of what bucket to kind of pull that information out of. Yep.
Can it interface with something like a GoPro or a LidCam?
Great question. So technically, there's no good, clean way to integrate with the GoPro, that kind of technology. Now, as long as that information is streaming into like Google Drive, we are also building out a direct connection with Google Drive, where you can push and pull directly in or out of CompanyCAM from Google Drive. So that might be a easy workaround from there. Yep.
In that regard, Blur also has cloud storage for system cameras.
What's the name of it?
Blur, the infrared cameras.
Yes. Yep.
Would this be able to coordinate?
Yeah, we are an open API company, so we probably just kind of have to sit down to see exactly what that flow would look like, but it's definitely something to be willing to work on. Yeah, great question. Yeah. No.
So when you're taking your pictures, if you were preparing like a work scope, like different packages, right? So if you're going through and you're taking all the pictures on the site, you want to prepare like a good, better, best type of scenario. Can you actually take that one picture and have it auto-populate in like separate?
Kind of like a reference image?
I'm sorry?
Kind of like a reference image?
Yeah, so like if you wanted, let's say you wanted to insulate first floor, the second project was going to be first and second story, and then the third project was first, second story, and the attic. Could you actually take those pictures, at the time of the visit, but then have it populate into like each checklist, depending on what that contract might look like?
Yeah, so what you're talking about there is like automatic triggers based off of like the system that you have in place. That's actually, that's going to kind of build off the back of like the logic that we're going to build into the checklist feature as well. So it's basically more of like a systemized process, like if this happens, then this will happen, right? And so that's what we're trying to build out with that conditional logic. Yep. Yeah, great question. Yeah. Yes, iPhone, Android, tablets across the board. It's going to, work from that standpoint. Yep. It can be used on multiple phones. You can log in with your same user. Technically, I'm not supposed to say this, but technically you can actually have two devices connected to the same user account at the same time. I always like to say it's kind of like Netflix. You can have two screens watching. Second, you get a third screen in there, someone gets kicked out, someone gets angry. Okay, just don't, you can have two, just don't do three, kind of thing. Awesome. Well, here, let me dive into some quick things that you guys wanted to see from us specifically for those super users out there. But I would say like the most advanced tool, or one of the better tools that we have inside of CompanyCAM specifically, is our before and our afters, okay? So anytime you've got your before photos here, all you have to do is click into your original photo. When you're ready to take your after photos after the project is completed, you hit the three little dots there down at the bottom. And as you do that, you could choose your after photo and build that before and after from the photos you've already taken, or I can hit take after photo. Check this out. What this is going to do is it's going to superimpose that first photo I took over the photo I'm about to take. Now here's my favorite feature, outline mode. Make it dummy proof. So now I can perfectly align it. Looks like I was standing like right back here. Oh yeah, there we go. Take my photo. What's going to happen is it's instantly going to grab my company logo that's in my system. It's going to build that before and after template for me, give me some more template options across the board. Once it looks good, I can instantly hit save. Now that's going to save all those photos that I took back to the project, as well as the before and after, and I can instantly hit one button. Marketing gals love it because they can instantly push this right over to Facebook, Instagram, customer, whatever it needs to be. Super, super easy, fast to build out those before and afters. All right, and some other features here that we need to discuss. Document signing. So within CompanyCAM, we give you guys the ability to jump into any document and get that signed. Now, you can always do this on site. So if you have a customer that needs to sign a document, as long as that document's in the system right here and you're on site, you can literally just click into it, hit fill and sign right in front of that customer. Here's my clean little PDF with my company logo, walking through my checklist. Maybe we've got a field right at the end for the customer to sign. I would hit fill and sign. I hit the little caret, and I basically say, hey, I'm gonna have you guys sign this real quick, and instantly they can draw, or if they need to type. And that's gonna build that into that project. I need to place it wherever it needs to go. Maybe I need to add date and time or a field to it. I can also do that in the top left-hand corner. So that's one way to do it. Now, if it needs to be certified, what we can also do is from the desktop computer, I can go to any of my documents here. I can hit this request signatures button. This is basically going to load up Dropbox signatures inside of CompanyCAM. I would type in the first name, the last name, the email address, and then when I hit next, it's going to actually pull up my entire document. It's going to actually have me transcribe the individual fields that I need those people to fill out, whether it be signature, invoice, anything like that. And then once those fields are built out, you hit send. They would automatically get an email. They click into that email through Dropbox Sign. They can have access to that and physically sign it. You would get a notification on your side once that document is both viewed and also signed. Yep, go ahead. Nope. Nope, we're cheaper. We basically cut you guys a deal. Yep. Yes and no. Depends on what state you live in. Yep. Yep. So I believe from the NYSERDA standpoint, as long as they have the signature right next to a field that confirms date and time, then you're good to go. Yep. Any other questions with document signing? All right. Awesome. Paul, what else did you want to see? Putting you on the spot. All right, let me check my document real quick. Trying to think what else. Let's see what you guys said. Oh, gallery timeline links. Yes. Oh, and trusty. Okay, those are two good ones. So anytime you guys are getting ready to kind of share this project with your customers, there's a couple of different ways that you could do this. I could instantly share all the images as a gallery link all at once, so everything that's in the system goes right over the customer. I could click individually on just like, hey, maybe I just want to share these 5 photos with the customers. I can literally just click on those 5 photos, hit share. It basically creates a hyperlink, so you can text that over to them, you can email it over to them. There's no downloading, uploading, you're not worried about compressed files or anything like that. It's just instantly giving them access to the photos that you want them to see. And so it's really simple to do from that standpoint. Or my favorite tool is to share a timeline link. And what a timeline link does is that gives them instant access to all the photos that you've taken on that project without them signing in or logging into anything, just a hyperlink, but also gives them access to all the photos you will take. Okay, so if I grab this little link here, basically what your customer would see when you send that over, hey, when we start the project, before you call me with the 1,000 questions that you have, please just go to your timeline link, look at the photos, make sure, maybe it'll probably answer those questions there, but it'll instantly grab your company logo, it'll have the project details, the display photo that you have, and then all the photos that have been taken on the project itself. So if that customer is sitting there and they're like, man, I just kind of want to see what they're doing today, and I was on site still capturing photos at this same project, all of these photos that I take here in real time, once they get loaded up to the server, that customer is instantly going to have access to those photos as well too. So if I hit refresh here, I don't know if you can see this little number, but it's 3,976 photos. If I hit refresh, it should be 3,980 photos. Might take a little while to load there with the connection.
Can they edit those?
They cannot edit the photos from there. Now, in terms of allowing your customer to edit photos or to add their own photos or to ask questions or comment on photos, what you would have to do is you would have to give them guest access from that project. Guest access does not require them to log in. Again, it's going to be very much similar. It's going to be a hyperlink, but just gives them more options to see all their photos, add more photos in, comment on the photos that are already in there. If they comment on a photo on a project, you would get a notification within the CompanyCAM system. And if you have your notifications turned on your phone, you would see, hey, a guest commented on this photo on this project. Okay. All right, Trusty, next part here. So essentially with any of your customers, you can also add them into Trusty. This is another clean way for them to have access to just the photos that you want to be really selective of what they can and can't do. Again, they can also comment on those photos. But really what Trusty is, it's a very clean and easy way for you when you finish a project to instantly share that project onto the Trusty website. So kind of think of Trusty as just a way better and less sketchy Angie's List, where no one's selling your data, no one's selling those leads. It's basically creating some search engine optimization for you through the Trusty portal. CompanyCAM has almost 45,000 companies daily taking photos, doing projects consistently, and we started to realize, like, man, we should be marketing all these companies and all the projects that they're doing if they want. And so basically creating just a better way for you guys to use what you've already done with your customers so that potential customers can say, hey, you know what, I can see True Building. I can see exactly all the projects that they've done, the people that they've worked with in certain areas, the different type of projects that they've done. That's really similar. That's what I want to see. Like if someone's, you know, building out a new basement remodel, I want to be able to see that. And so being able to kind of share that directly with Trusty. Now, you don't have to do that for every customer. It's just kind of giving that customer the ability to kind of review you through Google Business. And so essentially how a review would work is anytime you get done with a project, you can actually click this one little button here. I can request a review as long as it's connected to my Google Business. Basically, there's some kind of pre-populated templates for you. You can also even choose your after photos of what you've done. So it forces those customers to use the best quality photos that you have in your system instead of the customer, you know, pulling their phone out and trying to add photos to their own review that look really sketchy and weird. Like, I did a great job, but that photo does not look good in the moment. You can actually choose what they share through that Google review. And basically it sends out an email. They click a button, they type in their review, and it instantly kind of translates across the board between those systems. So this is a new feature, comes included with CompanyCAM that works really, really well. We're going to continue to add some more things inside of that to build out like marketing campaigns within those Google reviews. So like the second you get done with a job, it's just going to automatically trigger. It's going to automatically add in your after photos that you have and kind of do all the heavy lifting for you in that moment. So that is Trusty. Let me see what else that I'm forgetting here. Talked about that. Payment processing. Okay. So the other thing here too is if you ever need to showcase a project directly over to your website, we actually have a built-in, built-in widget that you can instantly add to your website. So it's just code, you copy it, you add it instantly to your website. It looks something roughly like this, where people will scroll down, they see your homepage here. On that homepage, you can add in this little Our Latest Project widget, and essentially it's just capturing those projects that you have completed. So once you get done with the project, you can hit one button to showcase, and it's basically just gonna add this to your website. It'll kind of pre-populate all your projects. It'll tell you, very much like Trusty, in a similar format, but it'll tell you, hey, city and state, where you kind of built those or did those projects, the products that you used across the board so customers can kind of see examples of certain things, project type. So essentially, instead of you guys trying to code this into your website or even go back through and keep adding photo after photo, document or whatever it might be to your website, you can just do this all through CompanyCAM with a click of a couple of buttons. And so that is the showcases. So yeah, what kind of questions, as I kind of share kind of a general overview here with you, but is there anything else that you guys want to kind of deep dive or have questions on? Yeah.
So on the reports, can you use the tags to help populate it into a report template?
Yes, yep. So yeah, you can basically, so anytime you want to build a report based off of your tags, you just grab those from the project itself, choose that specific tag, and you can start building reports directly from those tags. Now we're building out a feature where you can kind of build onto it. So I heard someone actually.
You have to select the tag photos and then add them. It's not
Yep.
automatic.
Yeah, it's not going to be automatic. I heard someone say it the other day. he literally said, Mike, you've given me 3 stones to kill the bird. Like I can build all these PDFs, but those PDF, like the pages, the checklists, the reports, they're really not talking to each other. It's like, I've got 3 stones. I threw 3 stones at the bird, but the bird's still chirping. I was like, man, that's a good way to say it. Like a lot of different ways to do the same thing. And so we're actually right now working on a way to kind of streamline that process between the AI pages, the checklists that you build out, and the reports to format that into building out a really long report based off of different specifications across the board. So a lot of different ways to do it, but we're trying to kind of streamline that process inside of the CompanyCAM app.
And then I noticed you can export all the data, like, you do a checklist and there's other, you have yes, no questions,
Yep.
entry questions. Is there any way to export that data except through a PDF, like on one of the CSV file or other things that?
Yes, so you can actually grab that and push that information over to a CSV file. You would just need to, on the project itself, you just need to kind of come up to your name here and then export and then choose that project to go to CSV. Because it'll grab the photos as well and kind of attach it back to a deep link so that you always have access to the photos even inside of the Excel sheet as well.
Okay, so that's from.
Yeah, so you just click on your name here and you come down to company settings and then you just go to export.
Okay.
And then you choose the project and it builds it into a CSV file for you. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you think what images do we have to use an app on the phone or can we use our computer with the
To link the infrared images. When that happens, all you would actually need to do is if it's on your phone or if it's on the desktop, you just come into your project, hit that little plus button right there, and then hit upload photos. And then instantly it'll scan your phone. So your photo album, if you've got stuff on your phone already from a project and you forgot to add that in, you can instantly just kind of hit one button. It'll grab all the photos from the last 30 days at that address location. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you'd have to upload it to the desktop if it's external. Yep. Yep. Back to room.
Is it possible to take pictures from the library and put them into the checklist?
From your library? What do you mean?
From the top, I'm taking
Yeah.
pictures. Sometimes I'll have pictures that I want to add to the checklist. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, you can always go back. So anytime you're in a checklist, I believe, at least you should be able to. It'd be really dumb if you weren't able to. You should be able to hit, add projects, add photos from the project. Yep. So you just got to click that button right there.
Is there a way to, when you're working on a checklist, like, for example, it has to take all the pictures of it and there's multiple places, and I might not pass all of them at the same time. There might be a boiler in the basement, a furnace in the attic, but they won't let me get at that same checklist. So I take a picture, all the pictures on that
field?
On that field,
Yeah.
So then I'll take a picture of like the sky or nothing.
So it's not allowing you to kind of go down?
No.
So that's really weird, but you should be able to provide an option on that checklist to kind of put like NA, so like I'm not able to actually fill that out. It's like not applicable to this job site. Then you should be able to move on from there. But usually you're able, within a checklist, like how I have it set up, is you're able to, like, I don't have to just go one by one by one. Like I can skip all the way down and just start adding information.
You know, I can do that too, but if I get out of one of those lines, without taking all of the required pictures, it won't let me get out.
Huh. You'll have to show me how that.
I plan on going back to that.
Yeah, you'll have to show me how that works. There's probably a bug there we just need to clean up for you because it shouldn't work that way. Oh. Yep. Yeah. So we've got 2 iterations of outline or offline mode. So it kind of depends on which one you're on. We might just need to upgrade you to the higher tier. There's actually the 3rd iteration, the better version that's coming out that automatically. So anytime you lose cell phone connection, it's going to have the last 10 projects that you worked on, and also any projects that you favorited or starred inside the system automatically in that offline mode saved without you doing anything.
So I can't search in the offline mode.
So Yeah, 1 of the 10, yep. Otherwise, it'd be a lot of data in that offline mode. Or if you know that you're going to lose connection in a house or in a service area, if you just star that project before you get there, it's just going to have that in the background for you automatically. Yeah. Yeah.
Uploading pictures that won't include a geotag, right? Is there any way to geotag?
Yes, so that is something that we've been talking extensively about, especially with NYSERDA. How do we allow you guys the ability to generate those tags when they're photos that are just kind of stored on your phone itself? We're trying, like, we have a way to solve it, but it's got to, like, we don't want people to be able to manipulate that, right? And at the same time, you have a whole marketing team that they're like, man, we really want to use these photos for marketing, but they all have geostamps on them. Like, what do? We can't crop these photos. And so we're trying to figure out some easier solutions so that marketing can use the photos, and then you guys can, go back and add those geotags, but also kind of creating still that level of certification where it's not as manipulatable as well too. So it's a rock and a hard place that we're trying to figure out a solution to.
There's only a couple of phones that'll interface with geotagging, right? Apple phones.
Correct, yep.
Are the only ones that, like, you can't geotag with an Android.
No, you should be able to do it with an Android, yeah. Yeah, Android and iPhone as well too. But back to the room still? Do you still have another question? Oh, maybe not, okay. Do you still have another question back there?
Yeah, I did. I've been told that a lot of the issues that I might have with my phone is older.
Yeah.
And Android, from the get-go, it seems like Android's always got the less than this.
That is very true. I'll be completely open and honest. We try to develop as much as we can between the two different avenues in as much fairness as we can. Our hands sometimes get a little bit tied with some of the Android stuff, just based off of like the software that they build out. So like we do the best that we can to make it streamlined on both sides. But like that, even that like walkthrough video where you can kind of do picture in picture, like that's not available on Android because it's just it's a big problem.
Is there a specific Android phone or era that would work better than maybe like 2-year-old Galaxy?
Yeah, it's called an iPhone. I'm just kidding. I'm just totally joking. I'm just messing with you. I'm totally messing. Yeah, I'll get with you later. I do know like our support team kind of has like if you're on an Android, like here's the ones that we would suggest because it's going to run a little bit more smoothly. But basically, any new phone that you pick up, it's going to automatically have the most updated software, so it should run pretty smoothly for you anyway. But we can talk about that too.
What about internet connection?
Yeah, so anytime you lose your cell phone or your internet coverage, it goes into offline mode. But you can also, it just automatically works a lot better, obviously, on Wi-Fi because it's going to be a faster connection.
Capture data.
Yep.
You do everything else.
Yep.
And then eventually, when it catches up, it'll upload.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oh, great question. Yes, I totally forgot collaboration. So anytime you've got a subcontractor or another company and you need to add them into that project, you literally can just hit one button either on the app or on the desktop version. Collaborator, you click in, you invite that other company or the subcontractor to collaborate with you. You copy that link, you text it over, they hit the link. It basically asks them, hey, if you don't have a CompanyCAM account, no problem. It's going to be free for you. You're not paying for that other company. You're not paying for that subcontractor. It basically just asks them, hey, create a username, email address, and a password, and then instantly gives them access to that project for free in CompanyCAM that you invited them to. They're able to see the photos. They're able to take their own photos, add timestamps, geostamps, all that good stuff too.
Are they able to see a desktop version as well as?
Yes. Yep, they're able to log in the desktop version, and it actually does allow them to create their own projects too for like 2 weeks for free. So. Yeah, so if they already have their own account, you send that link, they don't even have to log in, they hit that button, they instantly see that project within their system. Yeah. Okay, I think we're running up on time here, but definitely want to answer any more questions that we've got lingering. Yep. Kind of like a template? Yes. Yep. So that's really what we're trying to focus in on, how to kind of use Dropbox signatures, because it's like it's a third-party system. inside of our system, which is kind of sketchy. And we have SOC Type 2 compliancy. It's like highest level of security that you can have as a tech company. And so anytime we're adding a third party into our system to basically be required within our audit report, we have to like take that slow. But we do have Dropbox signature, which is great. So that was step one. Step two is how do we get these more advanced features inside of the document signing? I thought someone else over here. Yep.
Just a comment on pricing, that as we start to, it becomes essential and more people using it, it is now really too expensive.
Yep.
Some special, pricing for
That is in the works, and I don't want to overpromise and undercommit, so I don't want to say anything on the stage and have you guys come back with pitchforks. But that is in the works. We are working out something specific with that. Yep. Yeah.
In the collaborator mode, when you send that over, what happens to that after they're done with their sub work or whatever?
Yeah. So you guys can disable like what they can do. So basically, if you're like, hey, I want to end the collaboration access, they would lose all access to that project instantly. I believe it does expire after 60 days unless you renew it anyway. So it kind of archives it for them. They don't have access. Now, if you guys want to dive in and kind of sit down with me specifically, kind of work through, your processes throughout your different departments and how CompanyCAM could work, or, my big thing is I always want to make sure it's going to be a good fit long term. I will let you know that we have one of the lowest churn rates for any tech company. Our churn rate is literally 1%, which is extremely, extremely low, just because we take a lot of time to sit down with companies, walk through the specifics, walk through training and implementation to make sure that it's going to be a long-term fit and make sure it's going to hit the goals that you want it to hit as well too. And so if you guys actually scan that little QR code there, that's just going to provide you directly with my Calendly. You can set up a demo with me. We can sit down, work through different situations, see if it's going to be a good fit or not. And yeah, no worries on that either. So any last questions before you go grab some lunch and start heading home? Yeah, one more.
If the situation administrator works out and there's a licensing around for all of us to them, will all these things be available on the version they get?
Great question. I would assume so. It should be that way. We have 3 subscription tiers: Pro, Premium, and Elite. And I would guess that you guys would have access to all of our features across the board, which would kind of put you guys as like elite members or elite subscriptions within CompanyCAM. Yeah, great question. All right, well, if there are any lingering questions, just come see me afterwards, but we can go ahead and grab some lunch. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time.